Irving Couse was a boy from Michigan who sketched Native Americans from his childhood. He needed the finest training Europe could offer. In the 1880s, he left for the East Coast academies, then Paris, where he studied under the legendary William Adolphe Bouguereau at the École des Beaux-Arts. He was on his way to a respectable career painting salon pictures in the European tradition, until his wife Virginia changed everything. Virginia was a ranch girl from Washington who convinced him that his true subject lay not in copying European models, but in returning to America. In the 1890s they moved west, and Couse began painting Native American subjects with authentic models. By 1902, at age 36, a chance encounter with fellow artist Ernest Blumenschein on a New York street became the turning point. Blumenschein spoke passionately about a remote New Mexico village called Taos. Extraordinary light, untouched landscapes, and cultures worthy of serious artistic vision. That conversation changed everything. When Couse arrived in Taos in 1902, he found something remarkable: a small community of other classically trained artists who had reached the same conclusion independently. Joseph Henry Sharp, trained in Munich and Paris; Bert Geer Phillips, who had arrived when his wagon wheel broke in 1898; Ernest Blumenschein himself. All were gifted enough to succeed in the Eastern art establishment. All had chosen instead to pursue American subjects in an American landscape. In 1915 they formalized their commitment, creating the Taos Society of Artists with Couse as its first president. Together they did something extraordinary. They took a landscape and peoples that Eastern critics had dismissed as unworthy of serious artistic attention and transformed them into expressions of major American art. They combined rigorous European training with authentic engagement with the American West. Blumenschein captured the spirit when he reflected, "No artist had ever recorded the New Mexico I was now seeing. I was receiving the first great, unforgettable inspiration of my life." Couse spent the rest of his life in Taos, creating over 1,500 paintings, intimate scenes of daily Pueblo life, often lit by firelight and moonlight, painted with the same technical mastery he had learned in Paris, but infused with genuine respect and affection for his subjects. His two primary models, Ben Lujan and Jerry Mirabel, appeared in painting after painting, their aging faces and hands documented over decades. By the 1920s, works by Taos Society members were winning national prizes and appearing in major museums. The society deliberately disbanded in 1927, having accomplished its mission. Its founding members had proven that, authentically, American art didn't require European validation. The American West wasn't a frontier to be conquered. It was a landscape and culture worthy of a lifetime of artistic devotion. When Couse died in 1936, the Pueblo people of Taos, who called him Green Mountain for the cardigan he wore, walked beside his body dressed in bright traditional colors and stood devotedly over his grave. They recognized in him not an outsider, but an artist who had spent his life honoring their culture. Now let's look further at the artistic training and development of the rest of this remarkable group. Ernest Blumenschein began his art education at the Cincinnati Art Academy before moving to New York to study at the Art Students League. He then spent several formative years in Paris at the Académie Julian, one of the most prestigious ateliers of the era, where he absorbed the academic traditions of figure drawing and composition, while also being exposed to the emerging Impressionist movement. Bert Geer Phillips followed a similar path, studying at the Art Students League in New York and the National Academy of Design before heading to Paris. There he trained at the Académie Julian and studied under prominent French masters, mastering the classical techniques of the French academic system. Joseph Henry Sharp pursued the most extensive European education of the group. After initial training in Cincinnati, he studied at the Royal Academy in Munich, a renowned centre for rigorous academic painting that emphasized bold brushwork and tonal values. He continued his studies at the Académie Julian in Paris and also worked in Spain and North Africa, developing a painterly approach influenced by the Munich school's dramatic lighting and loose handling of paint; and Irving Couse, who trained at the Art Institute of Chicago before spending nearly a decade in Paris, studying at the Académie Julian and the École des Beaux-Arts, where he absorbed the French academic emphasis on carefully constructed compositions and refined drawing technique, which he would later apply to his remarkable depictions of Native American subjects. These European schools shaped their technical mastery, while Taos would provide their unique artistic voice. Following in the footsteps of these accomplished artists, our eBook collection offers vital guidance for contemporary artists whenever creative inspiration is called for, whether at the easel or traveling. An invaluable resource currently featured in our special promotional offers, so please visit the link below, and thank you.